Can you hear me? Hi. So, hello, my name is João Moreira Pires. Thank you very much for being here. I'm with Startup Portugal. Just a quick poll around the room. Who has heard of Startup Portugal before? Raise your hand, please. Okay. Any idea on what we do? I'm going to tell you, but someone who raised their hand can shout, what do we do? We do not incubate. People think that a lot. We don't do that. So, Startup Portugal. We are the national entity that connects the innovation ecosystem. We have a public mandate. We are not a public entity. We are an association. And we work with all the players to elevate the ecosystem and build better public policy towards entrepreneurship in Portugal. How do we do this? We aim to connect all these players, all these stakeholders in the ecosystem by designing initiatives, by supporting their needs, and by bridging all this with the government, with whom we work very closely, to design one of our, I'm still a bit lost here, to design one of our missions, which is the National Strategy for Entrepreneurship. That is a proposal that we make to the government after listening to the ecosystem. These are a few of our tasks, broadly speaking. We do a lot more in the detail, but let's get into it. So let's look a little to the Portuguese ecosystem. We map who is who and who is doing what, and we reach out to all of these entities so that our programs can serve you all better. We work with universities, so knowledge centers, with investors, both with investors themselves and investor associations, with enablers such as incubators and accelerators, with startups, and with public policy makers to build up a community, actually. This is, in the end, a lot about building a community, about bringing all these people together, bringing them into the same room and see how can we work together. Just to have an idea, the ecosystem in Portugal, we launch a study every year at Web Summit. Keep your eyes peeled next week. This will be updated. So every year we launch a study on the ecosystem, and what can we say so far? It's a very export-focused ecosystem. Most of startups exports up to 58% of their revenue. The average wage is way above the national average wage, and the companies grow a lot more than the average in the broader economy. I personally put it like this: our mission is to help transform the Portuguese economy from a day-to-day survival economy into an added value economy. This is a big task, and we are doing everything for it. Here you can have a few stories and a small idea of a few startups that have come out of Portugal and are having a fair bit of success. So has anyone tried their boxing bags? No? You should. It's really fun. So they gamify with AI the training. Sound Particles has built a solution that has enabled the development of sound for movies with Oscar-winning titles in their portfolio already. SmartX with AI for textile industry, traditional industry in Portugal transforming itself. Here are a few more. Anchorage, I believe a few of you have heard about them. They are the first and only, so far, federally chartered crypto bank in the US. Sensei, they are the main competitor with Amazon stores. And Wincredible. These are just a few. The ecosystem is much broader. But here, I think we have a selection that highlights the diversity of solutions that come out of the Portuguese ecosystem. Why Portugal? I mean, I could skip these slides. We're in the Algarve. The weather is amazing. So, you know, that is the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people. We are a very peaceful country. We have lots of history and culture for you to explore and to dive into. But at the same time, we are a good place to do business. And this is relevant because it's all fun and games until you need to start the grind. and this is something that a lot of people did not expect a few years ago, and we do our best to highlight and to promote. And we are strategically positioned to connect with several markets. A US investor based here once told me, I moved here because of the NHR regime, of course, and because I'm at the same distance from New York that I was before and from emerging markets. So the world is shifting, the economy of the world is shifting, and we need to make sure we tap into all of these new opportunities. We design and support the design of some public policies. They support all of the life cycle of a startup. This slide has a lot of information, but the idea here is for you to just get an idea that we, Portugal, not just Startup Portugal, we support all of the life cycle of a startup, and we work with several other entities in Portugal, namely BPF, YAPME, Portugal Ventures, etc. A few years ago, 2003, we helped publish the startup law in Portugal. Why was this important? Because it has a startup definition. The thing is, we cannot support something politically and public policy-wise if we do not have a definition to tell us who and what are we supporting. Because if you were designing a program for all the SMEs in the country, we're talking about over 1 million companies. And it's an incentive that would get diluted instead of going to the high impact startup potential. So we helped design this law that now allows us to propose several benefits to foster the startup ecosystem, such as we already managed to change for recognized startups. The recognition of startup is issued by Startup Portugal. It's a seamless process, completely online on our website. But for recognized startups, we abolished the tax on the vesting moment of stock options, and we cut in half the tax on liquidity. So we went from one of the worst regimes in Europe to probably the best or the most competitive one. We also have other benefits annexed to the startup recognition, and we are constantly working for more, such as EFCs, the former non-NHR program, is now connected to being part of a startup. There are incentives regarding the C economy also. There are some visas that help bring international talent into Portugal, and I would like to highlight here the startup visa and the tech visa. So the startup visa is for entrepreneurs willing from outside the Schengen space willing to join the Portuguese ecosystem. They are supported by an incubator, so they are not lost here. And the tech visa is for companies willing to bring tech talent from outside the Schengen space. But we do all this in deep connection and speaking with everyone outside in the ecosystem, because we are not in an office thinking of ideas, hey, let's see if this works. So we have a strategic council that spans across the ecosystem with founders, investors, universities, incubators, big corporates, etc. The president is a former minister of the economy, Manuel Caldeira Cabral. And we then roll out a lot of this through programs and initiatives. Let me just highlight a few for you. So one-stop shop, this is the one that I think is most relevant for you to remember, because if you have any questions, if you need anything regarding startups, the ecosystem in Portugal, you go to our website and reach out to One-Stop Shop. It's a forum. The program is run by my colleague here who is delivering this presentation, Francisca. So you fill out the form with whatever you need, and you will always get a reply from her. And you can also apply for a meeting, either in person in our offices in Lisbon or online. We have an ecosystem mapping platform that is free and accessible for everyone, so you can see and have a better feel of what's happening in Portugal. My team specifically manages the national network of incubators, where we connect all the incubators, accelerators in Portugal, through a minimum standard of incubation. So you can go to the page of the network, get a feel of where are the incubators, what do they do, what do they specialize in, and ask for support. And this also connects with the next thing. It's called Incubex. It's a twice-a-year meeting of all the incubators, not just those who manage to make it into the network, but everyone else who is supporting the ecosystem. Why is this relevant? Because there was a dispersed community. I've been to 5 Incubex meetings so far, and it's very interesting to see that now it's a reunion of people who know each other and who work together and who actually collaborate and share resources to support startups better in Portugal. Average 100 people from incubators every edition, and 60 incubators per edition. The Above and Beyond Hangout, that was referred before. So it's our monthly event. I know we are in the Algarve. You can watch, we live stream it every time. You can watch it from anywhere, but you can also join us either in Lisbon or Porto, where the event takes place at the same time. The panel is split between the 2 cities with live stream both ways. And I'm usually the host, and there's a panel, there's startups pitching, and there's always networking in the end. I've seen some really interesting stuff taking shape from this. Sim Conference. Who's heard about Sim Conference in this room? 1, 2, okay. I want to see you there, all of you, next May. Come on. Sim Conference stands for Startup and Investment Match. It takes place in Porto in May. It's our flagship event, along with the next one that I will show you in a minute. And it's a curated event where curated to build meaningful relationships between startups, investors, national and foreign, and corporates also. So we try to bring everyone in the same room and make things happen from there. By the way, just a second, simconf.com to get your tickets before the price goes up. Miguel is laughing at me. Road to Web Summit. So this is a program that we have been developing with Web Summit for, I don't know, almost 10 years now. We bring a delegation of Portuguese startups to represent Portugal to the Web Summit every year. We get them ready through boot camps and help them set up for a good conference where they get what they are looking for, not just being there and seeing everything around them, actually getting to the people that are relevant and how to set up an agenda for the event. And we do the same thing by bringing Portuguese startups to tech events abroad. It's called Business Abroad. There are smaller delegations, and we help select the startups with relevance for the markets. It's not just going to the event. It has it is done in partnership with ICEP, the Portuguese Foreign Trade Office, and we set up a lot of meetings and connection opportunities with local entities. And last but not least, we represent Portugal and the Portuguese ecosystem in international forums. We are founding members of ESNA, European Startup Nations Alliance. ESNA is based in Lisbon, but we also work with them at European level to create a better landscape and a uniform landscape to do business and to do startup and for startups in Europe. This is what I had to tell you. It was a tough act to follow, Tim's. I'm here for the day. If you need anything, reach out. Thank you so much.